Hello and welcome back. Today we've got an awesome brand new workout. We are doing full body with cardio, which is one of my favorite workouts. Now, as you know, I am all about focusing on strength training. So when we are doing our strengthening exercises, it's really important that you're using weight loads that really challenge you. Your job is to count out 12 repetitions for every single exercise, where the last 2 repetitions are actually challenging. So choose your weight load accordingly. Today we're going to be working in supersets, 3 exercises. Technically this is a monster or complex put together, but it's 3 exercises put together where we're going to be doing 2 strength exercises combined with a cardio segment. We'll take a short break after each complex of 3 exercises, and then we will repeat it for a second time. I've got 4 awesome complexes for you. It's going to get your heart rate up and it's going to make you strong. Let's get this party started. So let's start with a bit of a warm up first. Take a big inhale up and then exhale it out, and let's do that again. Take a big inhale up. Exhale it out. One more time. Make sure that you are reaching up super high to the sky. Reach up, 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 up. Really lengthen out. Lengthen your spine as much as you possibly can and relax it down. Keep your feet separated. Let's come into some spinal rotation. As you turn around, as you turn away from one leg, I want you to make sure that you're really clamping down on your abs and your glute of the leg that you're turning away from. So your right leg glute, your left leg glute. So when you clamp down and really create that foundation, it's going to allow you to be able to fully rotate around, opening up the spine, releasing any stickiness, and just really starting to get your core and your hips ready for the workout. Do make sure you're squeezing that glute, drawing in on your abs. And let's do one more. And bring your feet together right underneath you. Take a look down, make sure that your feet are nice and parallel to each other. Bend your knees, and then what I want you to do is just lift one leg and hold for your balance. Now, if it's challenging for you to just hang out here and hold for your balance, I want you to stay here, making sure you focus to bend into this leg that you're standing on. Don't lock out that knee. If you have a tendency to lock out on this knee that you're standing on, that's an indication that your hamstrings are weak. It's really important that you focus on keeping that knee bent. If you're nice and stable with your balance, I want you to look around your space, and I want you to intentionally try to throw your balance off. Intentionally throw your balance off. This is how you get stronger. This is how you improve functionality in the leg. This is how you improve your balance. Balance is absolutely one of the most important faculties that you need to keep forever. This is an exercise you should be doing all week long. If this is easy for you, I want you to really look around your space, really intentionally trying to throw your balance off so that you have to catch it. If your foot or your lower leg or your hip warms up and starts to get fatigued, you're on the right track. And let's switch and do the other leg. Feet together, nice and parallel. Bend your knees, same on the other side. Hang out here for a moment just to see where your balance is naturally, just holding here. And then again, if that's super easy for you, look around your space and intentionally really try to throw your balance off. Now, if you're watching this in playback and you're just sitting there watching and not joining, I realize this exercise could be a little silly looking, but get off your butt, stand up and try it, because it's an unbelievable, amazing exercise, and this is one of the exercises that I credit for keeping me healthy, avoiding injuries. If I slip on ice or I slip or trip somewhere out in the world, this exercise has kept me safe. It's kept my knees safe, my hips safe. Such an incredible exercise. Your functional balance and ability to stabilize is so important. And relax. Take your feet separated. Take a look down, and I definitely want your feet to be truly parallel to each other. Do not let your toes and knees rotate open. Keep them squared off. Bend your knees. Push your hips back, leaving a little bit of a natural neutral curvature in your lower back. And I want you to come side to side, pushing your hips back. Depending on your flexibility, if this feels a little restricted or you feel a little bit in your hamstrings, You can just stay here, starting very gently. And then as that starts to open up, you're gonna sit a bit deeper, coming down to take your hand all the way across your toe. Sitting super deep here. Every now and then, look down, make sure that your toes are staying forward. Now, if you have immediate discomfort in your knees, you can open the toes and you can open the knees a little bit. But technically, I want you warming up the body and getting accustomed to this movement with the feet being parallel to each other. Sitting as deeply as it feels right for you today, opening up those inner thighs, activating the glute, pressing off the heel. And let's do one more. And then I just want you to turn, take a look back, make sure that your feet are separated from each other between left and right. You've got space from left to right. Take your arms up over your head and I want you to just come down and up very gently, very naturally, moving at whatever speed works for you today. This is still a preparatory exercise. Now, this could also be a strengthening exercise for you for sure, but right now it's just to get your body prepared in this movement pattern so that when we get to one of our complexes, your body will actually be more ready and able to get into that movement. And let's do one more. And relax. Same thing on the other side. You can turn around or you can switch legs, whatever feels good. But do look down and make sure you've got space between right and left. Otherwise, you've got too narrow of a base of support. And if that's the case, you'll really struggle to keep your balance. So you definitely want to keep that space. Your legs are basically in front of and behind the width of your hip so that they're at the same exact angle, and it's going to allow you to move through this range of motion just a bit easier. If you've got toe issues or any limitation, you can bring your hands to your front leg, but I do encourage you to just gently try to work through this to the best of your ability. And let's do one more. And relax, just step together. I want you to take a big reach up, and then I want you to just come down and step back into a runner's lunge. Lift the knee and then drop the knee. Lifting and dropping the knee to open up the hip flexor of that leg that's behind you. Really extend, bending and lengthening, reaching way back through that heel. Opening up the front hip flexor, but also warming up the front leg. And let's do one more. Now you're gonna leave your back leg, knee on the ground, scoop up. I want you to turn towards the leg that's in front, bring your hand back to your leg, come for world's greatest stretch. Big reach up. Lengthening up and out, letting your hip move forward, drawing in through your abdomen, hands down. Probably number one favorite stretch ever right here. It's so good, so good. Relax and come forward, step back on the other leg, bring that knee down, and let's come into that hip flexor opening. Straightening that leg and bending, straightening and bending. Really reaching back on the heel. Sitting deep on that front leg, squeezing your glute on the leg that's in the back, getting that hip open, opening up the hip flexor, so good. Make sure you've got some exercise equipment nearby. We're going to be working with dumbbells and a circular hip band today. So in a moment when we transition, I want you to grab those. Got an awesome workout. I'm so excited for today's workout. Let's do one more and then relax. Let that knee be on the floor, scoop up, turn towards your leg that's in the front, and then bring the back hand to the heel, top arm just reaches up and back, lengthening up, lifting your chest and your energy up towards the sky while simultaneously letting this hip move forward as you lift up, back, and over. Keeping the glute activated of that leg that is down. Big reach. Oh, enjoyed it. So good. Love, love, love this. It just makes the world right. And relax. Let's come forward. Step forward. Come on up. And as soon as you get up, I want you to lift your knees 10 times. We're gonna get into the workout. So it's a full body plus cardio. You're gonna need a couple of sets of dumbbells as well as a circular hip band. Let's get started. So first exercise, you're going to want a moderate to light dumbbell. 3, 5, maybe even an 8-pound dumbbell here to get started. I'm gonna show you our 3 exercises and then we will get started. First exercise, we've got a single leg deadlift. One leg forward, opposite dumbbell is coming forward into your single leg deadlift. Come up and squeeze. 12 reps on each leg, where the last 2 reps should be challenging. Next exercise, heavier dumbbell. Straight up over your head, tricep extension, straight up. And our first cardio exercise is my favorite of them all, feet together. We're lateral bounding, okay? And I'll give you a few cues when we get there. You ready? Let's get it started. Single leg deadlift first, light to moderate dumbbell, depending on your ability. Feet together. Let me do it from the front for you so you can follow along. Feet together, bend the knees, and from here, you're gonna rotate forward on your right leg, but the weight is in the opposite hand. Squeeze your glute at the top right here. Squeeze the glute firmly so that you are definitely finishing off the exercise at the top. Super important at the top that you finish your exercise here by opening up that hip, okay? 12 reps, and we want the last 2 to be challenging. If it's not, that is feedback that you can use a heavier weight load. It might also mean that you could pause at the bottom before you come back up. You could stay with your same weight load and give me a longer pause. 12 reps, let's go right to the other leg. So you're on your left leg, dumbbell in your right hand, same thing. You'll notice that one side of your body is better able to do this than the other side. So normal. For me, this leg is just a bit wonky, is the word I like to use. It's just not as fluid. It doesn't have the same just natural movement pattern, and that's so normal. So normal to have one leg that it's just harder, and you want to just put some love and focus and energy into that leg that feels a little off. We want to work on symmetry, getting both of those legs equal. One more. Grab your heavier dumbbell, tricep overhead extension, one of my favorites. Feet together, knees bent, arms are extended up over your head, natural curvature in your lower back. If you're new to my workout, or if you have found me out on the interwebs, you probably have heard other fitness instructors say, keep a flat back, which would look like this. You absolutely do not want a flat back. You want a neutral, natural curvature in your lower back, because guess what? That's how your body is built. You are designed by Mother Nature to have a curve in your lower back, my friend. And I want you to use the strength of your abdomen to lock off that curvature, but I don't want you to flatten that curvature, ever. 12 reps, last 2 should be challenging, and we're gonna move into our cardio segment. Lateral jumps. Now, safety first. You should have shoes on. Depending on how tactile your surface is, make sure that you give yourself a few to get comfortable in the movement, making sure that you're coming up off the ground enough that you don't trip. okay? That you don't catch your foot as you're jumping. Now, once this gets comfortable, I want you to make it bigger, okay? Big jump. Really cover some ground here. Sit nice and low. Push off the outside leg. Pushing off the outside leg to cover some distance. We've got about 30 seconds here in total, more or less. Really cover that space, sit lower, make it bigger. Take your time if you need to. Adjust this workout so that it's right for your bod today. 30 seconds, big jump, big push. 2 more, and walk it out. We've got a short break, a little bit of a rest, a little bit of a recovery here, and then we're gonna repeat this complex of 3 exercises again before we go on to the next one. How does that feel? So, depending on how challenging that last complex was, that's gonna inform you of what the next set should look like. If it was doable, I want you to grab yourself some heavier weights. If it was perfectly challenging, stay there. And if it was way too hard, I want you to slow down. Take breaks, do fewer repetitions, do whatever you wanna do to make it challenging but pleasurable for you. Workouts should always feel good with a bit of a challenge. I am not the type of trainer that will teach you to leave it all on the gym floor and crush yourself in a workout. That's not the goal. The goal is to work about 20% harder than wherever you are today. And if you do that every single workout, you're just gonna get better and better and better. Let's go to set number 2, single leg deadlift. Feet together, bend the standing leg, keep that neutral arch in your lower back, and here we go. Again, 12 reps. Now, if that first set was comfortable for you, I hope you picked up a heavier dumbbell. If you don't have a heavier dumbbell, then I want you to add a little bit of a pause at the bottom right there to really require your body to have to stabilize and lengthen the isometric contraction at the bottom. Now, this is good for everybody, especially if your dumbbell is starting to feel comfortable. You're just gonna add that pause at the bottom because that's gonna make the exercise a bit harder. And if you're still learning this move, totally okay to get in and out. So we are in and out. Just make sure that you're very deliberate with your repetitions, very thoughtful, very mindful. You can get so much more out of your workouts simply by putting your mind and your focus into the exercise. 12 reps on the other side, same thing. Feet together, bend your knees, find your balance first. You want that leg that you're standing on to be slightly turned open, a teeny tiny bit at the toe. Squeezing your glutes at the top here. Every exercise we do, I want you to finish it off. Finishing it off by fully opening the hips, squeezing the glute, and getting your shoulders above your hips as well. You want to hit perfect posture here on the side of your body that we're working, which is the leg that we're standing on, okay? And remember, 12 reps, where number 11 and number 12, you gotta work. It should be uncomfortable, okay? One more, and we're going into that tricep overhead extension with a heavier dumbbell. Slightly heavier dumbbell, depending on your ability. It might be 10, it might be 15, it might be 30, depending on what your familiarity is with this exercise, your skill level, and your strength. Again, if your weight is a little light for you, you can pause at the bottom before you come back up. Just make sure that when you're pausing at the bottom, you're not just relaxing. You're not just hanging out back here. It's a contraction and a contraction, a contraction and a contraction, okay? Abs nice and tight. Keep that neutral curvature in your lower and technically upper back, but we start with that lower back first. Really extend, contracting your triceps, back of your arms at the top right here, big contraction, 12 reps. We got one more, and let's go into that cardio segment. So keep in mind, you're responsible for you, my friend. I want you to be counting out your repetitions. Don't rely on me to count your reps for you, you lazy person. I want you responsible for you, because the truth is I'm not there with you. So I can't be responsible for your body. You're responsible. Please pay attention to your repetitions, counting them out so that you are equal on each side, so that you are legitimately really challenging yourself to get stronger. One more. You know, take a break. I actually timed that segment. I don't always time it. I can usually figure it out in my head. That was 30 seconds. I don't know for you, but it went by like that for me. I was like, that was way too fast. Walk it out, let your body recover. While you're recovering, turn up the music, tighten up your shoelaces, grab some water, and I'm gonna show you the second complex of 3 exercises. I love this one. This one is so good. Grab a circular hip band. Now, if you're here for the first time and you don't have a circular hip band, you can do these exercises without it. It's just more effective, a lot more effective when you've got it. Let me teach you a trick. Sometimes these things are hard to get into, right? Put one leg in, bring the band up around your knee, use your arms, stretch your band, and then step in. Stretch your band, and step in and place your band. The easiest way to get in. It does require a little bit of strength, but let me show you our 3 exercises. First, feet together, knees bent. Use something to stabilize your balance if you need to, but from here we've got a glute kick back. I want you pausing and squeezing that glute big time right there. 12 repetitions on each side. Second exercise, moderate to heavy dumbbells. We've got a hammer curl. You're just gonna leave your hip band on and ignore it for right now. For this exercise, it's gonna be a dumbbell hammer curl, just ignoring that hip band, because for our cardio segment, we're using that hip band. You ready? We've got jumping jacks with the band. Moderate, full, and if you need something modified, just do lower intensity jumping jacks, because it's still gonna be amazing with this hip band. Are you ready? All right, so we got first glute kick back, and then we've got our hammer curl. Feet together, use something for balance if you need to. Knees are bent, kick back, squeeze. You've got 12 reps. Make sure you're pausing and really activating glute here. Keeping abdomen nice and strong here, so that again, you're keeping that same angle at your lower back. You're not flattening your lower back. You're keeping that angle the same, and your leg is moving around it to activate and squeeze that glute with a big contraction right there. Big contraction. Oh, it's good stuff. 12 reps. Same thing on the other side. If you don't need to balance, if you don't need something to stabilize your balance, awesome, you don't have to, but using something to stabilize gives you a little bit of leverage so that you've got just a little bit more ability to push off of and get a bigger contraction right there, okay? So even if you are using something to stabilize, it's not cheating. The heavier your band, the harder the exercise, and it can really help to have some leverage, right? So you might not be able to see it, but I'm putting my hand against the wall here because it allows me a little bit more of a foundation to really squeeze the glute. If your band is on the lighter side, or if you're doing this without a band, I really encourage you to do it without holding on, because it's gonna build your sense of stability and your balance. 12 reps, grab your dumbbells, dumbbell hammer curl for your gorgeous arms, feet together, shoulders back and down, shoulders back and down, so important. Hammer curl right here, palms stay facing each other. That's what a hammer curl is. It's the positioning where your palms are facing each other right here, keeping your shoulders back and down right there. Squeezing at the top, really activating through your biceps, okay? Again, keeping that neutral curve in your lower back, shoulders back and down. So, you know, it's funny, this is what I really specialize in with strength training, is that there are other people out there, not you, of course, who pick up a pair of dumbbells and they just kind of throw those dumbbells around, right? They're just doing this exercise with their arms without really realizing the landmarks and the foundation, your hips, your back, your shoulders, make the exercise so much more effective when you're paying attention to all of your body alignment. Cardio segment, jumping jacks. Pick your poison. Low intensity if you want, moderate or high, let's go. Moderate. And if you want to take it a little bit higher, arms up, okay? Now you got a band around your legs, just in case you forgot. I want to make sure that you're really keeping your knees active, pressing those knees out to stretch the band. And remember, you can keep it low intensity, you can do it slower, you can also make it modified. Couple more, and relax. Take a short break, walk around, leave your band on. Just be careful if you are walking about with your band, little baby steps. But I do want you to keep moving while we go through this short recovery before the second set. Now listen, if you're loving this workout, if it feels amazing, you can add a third set of each complex. We're doing 2. You can move a little faster, shorten the rest between the complexes and do 3. That's up to you, especially if you're watching this in playback and recording. You can always hit pause or rewind as you need to. We'll be doing 2. I invite you to do 3 or more. You could do 3, 4, 5 sets of each of these complexes if your fitness level is there. Let's go in for our second set. Band, glute, kick back, feet together, bend your knees. Super important, abs tight, yes, but you want to brace your core muscles to lock that lower back angle. Big kick back, squeeze. Now listen, the trick to these is that nothing is moving but your leg. One of the biggest mistakes I see a lot of people make is their whole body starts to move, right? They're kicking back, but their upper body is moving too. And you can see, even if you didn't get an A in high school physics, you can see how that's limiting the contraction here as compared to this. This is a whole lot more glute right here. The only thing that's moving is the leg from the hip. Everything else is locked off. 12 reps, same on the other side. Keep both knees bent. Big one, big one. That took me years to figure that one out, because here's the deal. If your glutes or your hamstrings are weak, you're gonna wanna lock out your knees in a lot of exercise patterns, okay? So by keeping your knees soft, slightly bent, unlocked, it's actually not a safety thing at all, by the way. It's really so that you use your hamstrings more, and that allows you to activate your glutes more. Super important. If you've been around here for a while, you know I talk a lot about glute strength. Your glutes really are designed to be the largest muscle group in your entire body. The Mac Daddy of all of your Mac Daddies, the most important muscle group. But for women, in my experience, now 30 years of coaching and training women, most women have weak glutes. So everything that we do here sets us up to improve how you're using your muscles. And specifically, there is always an emphasis and a focus on your glutes. If you learn nothing else from me except shoulders back and down. And the importance of your glutes, I've done my job. Use your breath, keep their shoulders back and down. Neck is relaxed, putting the focus on the arms. And if you do this right, and you're really contracting your shoulder blades towards each other, you're actually gonna get an incredible upper back exercise as well, even though this is an arm-focused move. Cardio segment, jumping jacks. Are you ready? Pick your poison, which one, and let's go. Moving at whatever space feels right for you. You can make it bigger, and if you prefer to have a more modified intensity, just take a step out to the side because you're still gonna get the value of that band here. In some ways, you're getting more out of the band by doing it this way. It's totally up to you. You got 5 seconds. Get that intensity up, super strong, and walk it out. Walk it out, don't stop moving. Keep your legs moving for a moment, 10 seconds or so. Then I'll let you take your hip band off. If you're not gonna do a third complex. And please keep walking around. I'm gonna take my band off. You'll take yours off in a moment. And I'm gonna show you our next complex. You're gonna want a set of light to moderate dumbbells and one heavier dumbbell. 10, 15, 20. Here are your 3 moves. Goblet squat. Dumbbell stays in contact with your chest. It's gonna muffle my microphone, bear with me. Dumbbell stays in contact with your chest stays up. You're sitting straight down like a little baby and standing straight up, squeezing your glutes. Second exercise, light to moderate dumbbells. Slight bend at the elbow, shoulders back, shoulders down, bend at the elbow, side raise. If your dumbbells are a hair light, I want you to pause and then relax. Pause and then relax. 12 reps and your cardio. We got 2 more cardio segments. Are you ready? Because these 2, this one and the next one down the road, are the challenging ones. Squat jumps, 20 to 30 seconds. 30 seconds of squat jumps is a doozy. Here, jump, jump. Now, you can reset. Reset. You could do these however you want, okay? 20 to 30 seconds, I'll time you when we get there. Grab your heavy dumbbell. Let's go for goblet squat. Dumbbell or kettlebell, just make sure that it stays in contact with your upper chest right here. Toes are turned open. So if you look down at your toes and imagine that you're standing on the face of a clock, your left toe is at 10 a.m. and your right toe is facing and rotated towards 2 p.m. 10 and 2 is how your feet, knees, and legs are rotated open. And that's super important to really fully get into a proper goblet squat. Squeeze your glutes at the top, 12 reps. 1 more, and then we're going into dumbbell side raise, light to moderate. The reason why I say light is because if you're above 5 pounds on this exercise, I want you to really use your mirror and make sure you've got great technique. In my experience of working with women all these years, above 5 pounds on this exercise, it starts to get harder from a physics perspective, and that's because this is a big, long lever. Now, lots of women can do 8, 10, 12, 15 pounds. I'm not saying you can't do it, but what I am saying is if you go above 5 pounds, I want you to make sure you're using your mirror and your technique is really beautiful. Slight bend in the elbow, you're ending with your hand and arms a little above parallel, but with the elbows bent, a hair above parallel. And if your dumbbell's a little light, you pause at the top. Are you ready for some squat jumps? Let's do it. Here we go. Moving at your own speed. Since we got 30 seconds, you can give me some big intensity here if you want, but you still got 15 seconds left. We're only halfway. So budget yourself here. And like I said, if you want to modify, you can even just do a little jump, a little jump, a little jump, okay? 5 seconds. And walk it out. Please keep your feet moving, super important, especially after a high intensity exercise like that. Keep your feet moving. Now, I love jumping, bounding, plyometric type exercises for women in short little bits, small little doses, because it's so good for bone density. So good for bone density. You gotta do it carefully, you gotta do it safely, but this type of exercise is so good for creating the impact that the osteoblast cells need to keep those bones strong. Short break, let's go into our second set. Goblet squat, side raise, squat jumps. You ready? Modifying as you need to. So even if on your goblet squat, you know, if you have to do this body weight, totally cool. If you are having trouble at the bottom range here of that movement, bring a chair over and let yourself just sit back into a chair. And that's just gonna help support you a bit more at the bottom of the move, okay? So you are responsible for you. Please modify these moves as it's right for your body. Squeezing your glutes at the top here. We got 12 reps. One more. And then we've got dumbbell side raise. Light to moderate. Generally, when I'm in the gym with women, I will have you start 3 or 5 pounds on this exercise, just so you make sure you're getting really good technique before we go heavier, okay? Lots of women can do 8 pounds and above, but that's when I start to see some bad habits coming in, and this is an exercise where you really don't want a bad habit. Some exercises, you can get away with bad habits. Now, I don't want anybody having bad habits. You know me, I am all about you having a perfect, exquisite technique on every single exercise. That's ideal. And some exercises, you can get away with slightly sloppy technique. You can. This one is not one of them. Side raises, I really want you to have awesome, beautiful technique. All right, you ready for your squat jumps? Let's do this. Find your intensity, pace yourself, make it bigger, make it higher, make it faster, if that feels good for you. You can also do a few, take a break, and then do a few and take a break. However it works for you. 10 seconds. Use your breath. Big jump. And walk it out. Longest 30 seconds of your life. Please keep your legs moving, especially after high intensive exercises like that really get your heart rate up. You don't want to just like stop. You might be like, yeah, I know I should walk around. I know Holly's telling me I should keep my feet moving, but I'm fine. You're not fine. Keep it moving. I'm not making this stuff up just to occupy you. You want to reduce any unnecessary stress to your system. And when you keep your feet moving, it facilitates recovery. It helps your heart make the adjustment from high intensity back down to a lower intensity. Trust me, you want to do it. Grab a drink of water. We're moving on to our fourth complex already, if you can believe it. Let me show you these 3 exercises because it's going to be good. This one's intense, and I'm modifying on the fly because I just decided I wanted to change this last exercise. Okay, you're going to grab 1 moderate to light dumbbell for the first exercise, and I'm just changing this first exercise for a second. Hold on. Yep, that's what we're going to do. So first exercise, let me show you from the front. You'll be able to mimic better. Feet together, 1 arm is up over your head. If you're mirroring me, that would be your left arm, okay? So you're going to step back on your left leg. So the arm that's up is the leg that steps, and then you're going to step forward. So it's a reverse lunge with your arm over your head. 12 reps here, and then you'll go to the other side. Cool? Reverse lunge with an overhead hold. It's gonna really fatigue out the deltoid from that last set. Second exercise, heavier dumbbells, feet together, knees bent, lower back arch, bent over dumbbell row, keeping your head and neck in alignment, not cranking your neck up to look at me on the screen. Cool? Third exercise. Take a deep breath. This is the hardest one of all. Split squat jumps. You're gonna start with your feet separated, okay? And you're jumping and switching, jumping and switching, jumping and switching, jumping and switching. You can do it faster, you can do it slower. Here is modified intensity, but you can speed this up. You can go faster if you don't want to actually be jumping. Okay, light to moderate dumbbell. Let's go for that overhead hold, reverse lunge. Hold it in your left hand, step back on your left foot. Okay, that all being said, when the dumbbell is over your head, your job is to keep it there locked in place. But technically, what we're focused on here is the front leg. So I want you to focus all of your attention and effort onto the front leg, right? Because once your dumbbell is up over your head, you don't have to do anything. Just keep it there. So I want you thinking about pressurizing your front heel. Keep your front toe relaxed. Keep your abs drawn in and find the speed that works for you here. 12 reps, and then we're gonna go right to the other side. This is a big one, right? This is a big complex. I'm gonna do it from the front so you can see it. Feet together, knees bent, arm up over your head. Whichever arm is over your head is the leg that you're gonna step back on, right there. When you step forward, squeeze that glute if you can, of the leg that's in front. We're working the leg that's in front. Abs drawn in, pressurize your front heel. Heel to arch on your front leg. That's the leg we're strengthening and we're focusing on here. Keep that arm nice and extended. 12 reps, very focused here. One more, heavier dumbbell, double bent over row. I should say heavier dumbbells, because you do want 2 of them. Feet together, knees bent, definitely. Arch in your lower back. Dumbbells come down towards your knees. Pull your hand up to your rib cage. If you're here with me watching in playback, or if you're here with me live, really, and I know you're one of those too, otherwise you wouldn't be here. I am a stickler for technique. Technique is super, super, super important. It's why I created Strength Society. Strength Society is a 3-hour workshop where we focus on your technique, really perfecting your technique on a variety of exercises. If you want to make sure you've got great technique, if you want to make sure, hold on one second guys, If you want to make sure that, are we good? Let me know if there's any issues. If I have any issues, then you can just unmute if we're having problems. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second here to adjust my camera. Okay, going into the next exercise, which is bent over dumbbell row. Did we just do that? We just did that. So we've got split squat jumps next. I'll continue what I was talking about. Split squat jumps, start with your feet separated, okay? Using your arms to pull you up. Here we go, you got 30 seconds. Let me do it this way so I can watch my clock, okay? Moving at the speed or intensity that's right for you. Use your arms, make this powerful, make it big. Big jump, safe recovery. 30 seconds, modifying if you need to, okay? 5 seconds, 5 seconds, and walk it out. Walk it out, short little break, and then we will do this complex again. As I was saying, technique is everything. It's why it's the #1 step to strength in my book, Lift to Get Lean. So if you want to really refine and work on your technique to make sure you're getting the most out of all of your workouts, come on over to my website, hollyperkins.com/Strength Society. Strength Society. And you'll see there are 3 workshops there that are all now available in playback. You can buy the recordings, you can practice those exercises, you've got lifetime access to those workshops. Okay, let's go. Round 2 of this last complex, alternating reverse lunges. If that first set was doable, grab a heavier dumbbell. You could also technically grab 2 dumbbells if you want. I like 1 dumbbell better, but if you're maxed out on the weight load of your dumbbells, you could use 2 dumbbells if you need to. So remember, dumbbell in the left hand over your head, left leg steps back. So it's the same hand to leg that are moving, but technically we're strengthening the leg that's in front. Keeping that arm straight up over your head, finishing off your exercise here with a glute squeeze right there. Finishing it off, abs super tight, squeeze that glute, make your glute stronger, build that glutey so it's fabulous and functional. Pressurize that front heel, 12 reps. If it's comfortable and easy, you can do more reps, but I would rather you grab a heavier dumbbell. In my school and what I teach, I'd always rather you get stronger by exposing your body to harder weight loads. More reps and more reps and more reps will only get you so far. I promise, especially if you're a woman over the age of 37. Feet together, arms up over your head, bend those knees, same on the other side. Pressurizing your front heel so that you can squeeze that glute, okay? Progressive resistance, exposing your body to more challenging weight loads over time is the panacea, I promise, for women over 37. It's everything, everything. Drive your heel into the ground so you can really squeeze that glute. 12 reps, going into dumbbell, bent over dumbbell row, heavier dumbbells, feet together, knees bent. Dumbbells at your knees, neutral arch in your lower back. Here we go. You're pulling your palms to your rib cage. Right there, to your rib cage, okay? You're gonna probably feel your dumbbell touch your torso. Ideally at the top and the bottom, ideally you would feel both ends of your dumbbell on your torso, but even if it's just one end, that's okay. Just make sure you're keeping that lower back arch and your knees are bent. If your weight's too easy, pause at the top and relax. Take a moment. We got the last doozy of them all. Split squat jumps. You ready? We got 30 seconds. Separate your feet. Safety first. Big jump. Okay? Bring that intensity up. Lift those arms. Really give me some big explosiveness, enthusiasm from your legs. Reach up. Really reach for your ceiling. Go for it. Big jump, big jump, big jump. 5 seconds. And walk it out. You are gonna feel that in your legs. The higher your heart rate, the more I want you to move about. Move it, move it, move it. Grab a drink of water. You can complete a third superset of this complex. These 3 exercises if you'd like to. Walk it out, bring the heart rate down, and I'm gonna take you through a couple of range of motion, gentle stretches, just to cool you down. And let's take a big inhale up. Exhale it out. If your heart rate still is up, please keep moving. Exhale it out. Let's come into our spinal twist, just to help bring that heart rate down, okay? Just like I said at the beginning of the workout, clamp down on the glute that you're turning away from. You also want to clamp down on your abs, but I want you really squeezing your glute hard because it creates such a good foundation for you to move around, okay? One more. And relax, take your feet separated. And I just want you literally to just kind of swing side to side for a little bit of an active lengthening on the inner thigh. Just kind of let yourself rotate over towards the leg that you're bending into. You're also gonna feel a really incredible neutralizing, it's not really a stretch, but let's call it just a neutralizing range of motion that's so good on the hip that you're turning towards, because you get this little bit of a flexion plus a rotation towards it. It's such a good hip neutralizer, pelvic stretch. Just nice and easy. And relax. Find yourself something to stabilize on if you need to. Feet together, bend your knees. And I want you to bring your heel up back behind you. Grab your foot, pull your heel to your booty, tuck your pelvis under, pull your knee back, all right? Tuck your pelvis under, and then draw the knee back, squeezing the glute. This is your most powerful stretch that every single woman should be doing every single day. Without doubt, you cannot argue that statement. Quadriceps are inherently prone to getting tight in women because our pelvis has a natural tendency to rotate forward. That shortens the quadricep and the quadriceps get tight. So if you've ever had issues with your knees or a knee, it's probably because your quads are tight. So you want to first tuck your pelvis under because that's affecting the origin of the quadriceps. Then you pull your knee back. That's affecting the insertion of the quadriceps. So it's important to tuck that pelvis under, pull the knee back to really deeply and thoroughly lengthen the quadriceps. Now listen, there are lots of ways of stretching your quadricep. This is not the only quadricep stretch, but it's critical that we are all stretching quads every day, even if it's just once for a minute or two at the end of the day. It really is going to improve your lower body function, the health of your knees, the health of your hips, all of it. It's just so good. Let's take a big inhale up. Exhale it out. One more. Big inhale up. And exhale it out. Okay, inhale up. Exhale and breathe normally. Interlock your fingers, bring them behind your head. Send those elbows back. Let your chest come forward. Lift your chin. Let your lower back just kind of come into a bit of an exaggerated lower back arch, just to really open the chest, lift up, squeezing your shoulder blades back in space. So see how I have a wall behind me? Imagine I was trying to push my elbows back into the wall, contracting my elbows back into the wall is gonna help to really improve that stretch in the upper body. Exhale it out. Let's do one more big inhale. Inhale. Exhale it out. So good to have you today. If you're watching this in playback, come over to my website, hollyperkins.com/free workout. You can sign up to join us live for one of these workouts on a Saturday coming up soon. I hope to see you then. I'll see you next time.